How's it, everybody? It's your friend Frozen Donny here, and welcome back to a brand new video. And you guys have been requesting a kind of a flying vlog for a very long time now. And if you guys didn't know, I am actually a private pilot.
Kind of fly over the lake a little bit.
And I was working on getting my commercial license, and in order to get your commercial license you have to do a 300 nautical mile journey, and I decided to do that journey through the Canadian Rocky Mountains in Alberta and British Columbia. So I'm gonna walk you guys through how I did that. Guys, so the first part of this journey obviously started at the Springbank airport. If you guys didn't know, there's actually a lot of steps that go into preparing a longer flight like this, such as you need to think about what you're going to do in an emergency, make sure you have the right search and rescue supplies. You have to consider the weather in a more vast area, considering you're traveling over 300 nautical miles from your departure airport. So there's a lot of different things to be thinking about. Thankfully, we had a high pressure system that day. If you guys are into meteorology at all, you know that a high pressure system essentially means that there's going to be very good weather, there's anti-cyclonic flow, and there's going to be no clouds in the sky. So we had a stationary high pressure system over the Rockies that day, which was definitely in our favor and allowed us to get out there and fly the plane. Once we got in the airplane, we decided to depart at around 8 a.m. I think that's the time we filed our flight plan for, and then we were off and we were heading to Golden. When we were going to Golden, we decided to just go straight across over all the Rocky Mountains. So we got there in a very fast time. I think it only took us about an hour with taxi time to get to Golden, which is pretty fast. And we were going there at around 10,500 feet. And don't worry, Transport Canada, we weren't up there for more than 30 minutes. So we were making sure to keep in mind all those guidelines regarding oxygen restrictions. But once we landed in Golden, we taxied off the runway, took the time down, and then we departed off to Revelstoke. And here is our landing into Golden, by the way. And some of you guys are probably wondering what type of plane we were using. We were actually using a Cessna 182T Skyline, and it was fully G1000 equipped with autopilot, which made this journey a dream. Having autopilot in the G1000 system in this plane made it super easy to navigate the difficult terrain in the Rockies. And after we took down the time, we decided it was time to continue on our journey to Revelstoke. So here you can see me backtracking the runway here in Golden and planning for a departure kind of straight out here, and then a left-hand turn to cut across the Rockies right over to Revelstoke. And after watching this video again, it really puts it into perspective how dangerous and how high the Rocky Mountains can be. We just departed and immediately there is already a huge increase in elevation, and look at these amazing views we got as we were hopping over to Revelstoke from Golden. And now we are finally arriving into Revelstoke. Now the Revelstoke airport is pretty cool because it's kind of on a swampy, kind of riverish part of Revelstoke. So you kind of fly over the river and then you're in kind of a wetland area, but it's super nice, has a super nice long runway. They have a great FBO. That's actually where we fueled up as well. So Revelstoke was a very important stop on our journey. And I mean, the older pilots are probably gonna laugh at me, but this is actually my first time filling up an aircraft because when you are out your flight school, they usually have a person that fills it up for you. So this is my first time actually putting my credit card in and filling up the plane. And here's the approach for you guys in Revelstoke. As you can see, the runway is kind of on a wetland, and it is a super long and nice runway to land on. here is me pulling up to the fuel station, trying to get it right, trying to line up my plane. And just like that, it was time for us to depart Revelstoke again and continue on our 300 nautical mile journey all the way to Chilliwack. Now, a lot of you guys have been wondering, why did he fuel up so early along his journey? Well, I simply put it this way: I always want to be prepared for the worst case scenario, and fueling up in Revelstoke gave us an extra 1 to 2 hours of endurance on our aircraft. So if there's ever an emergency and we had to divert, we had the fuel to do so. And the departure out of Revelstoke was also pretty neat. You got to see kind of the town on the far right of your screen there. And the mountain in the front here, we decided to turn left just before that mountain and kind of follow Highway 1. And we kind of followed the highway to gain some altitude. And then once we got some good altitude, we went direct to Hope, British Columbia. And here is some super cool footage of us kind of leaving Revelstoke and heading direct to Hope. And this section of the flight was pretty straightforward. I basically just put Hope in our GPS, and we kind of just head direct there, and then we followed the highway into the Chilliwack Valley. And if you guys are wondering, most of this handheld footage was for coming along with me on this journey and shooting it for you guys. And if you guys were wondering about what I was talking about in that clip, I was basically just so amazed at how high we truly were. Where I usually fly, we're already 4,000 feet above sea level. So flying at actual 10,000 feet was a surreal experience and really made me feel like I was in an airplane. And now here's some footage of us coming into the lower mainland. And if you guys are wondering why it was so smoky, it was because there was a lot of fires in British Columbia this summer. So it affected visibility a little bit, but we still were able to maintain safe VFR conditions, and we got the flight done. And the visibility wasn't as bad in person. It looks pretty bad on the video though, but as you can see, we can still easily see stuff. But we were pretty much just following the highway down into Chilliwack here and coming in for a full stop. And this was actually my first time flying in the lower mainland, and having that sea level performance was honestly incredible. As you guys know, performance decreases as you get higher up from sea level, but here's some beautiful footage of me turning onto final for a full stop landing in Chilliwack. Hope you guys enjoy. And there you have it, folks. I've successfully completed my 300 nautical mile journey, but it wasn't over yet because now I had to fly 300 nautical miles all the way back to where I came from. But obviously we needed a quick pit stop. We got some food at the restaurant in Chilliwack, which was awesome, and we were also able to fuel up, and I got to see my grandparents, and that was awesome. And unfortunately, I decided to leave my GoPro running while I was in the restaurant, so I don't have any footage of the taxi. I also have some pictures that I'll throw up on the screen of me fueling up the plane, which is pretty cool. Now on our way back, we decided to take a different route, which is direct all the way back to Springbank. So we had some incredible views we've never seen before, and we saw glaciers, we saw super amazing mineral lakes, and it was overall an incredible experience. Also, for some reason, there was a helicopter on the side of the mountain. I went ahead and called him to make sure he was okay, but I thought it was pretty cool that there was just a helicopter chilling on the side of the mountain. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like and consider subscribing. And I have lots more content I am willing to share with you guys if you guys are liking this. So I will see you guys in the next one. See ya!